छन् र बाँकी कहाँ सबै छन् जाति यहाँ कोही छन् र बाँकी कहाँ सबै छन् जाति यहाँ गरेका मिली सबै
गुराँस पनि फुल्छ यहाँ
एउटै हो सबको रहर बनाऊ यो हाम्रो सहर
एउटै हो सबको रहर बनाऊ यो हाम्रो सहर
हाम्रो विराट नगर
Okay, namaskar, good afternoon. I'm going to teach you English of class 10. So you can see in the slide. That is Hamro English book. That is your English book. And here in the what language, I'm teaching of this what language to you. There are 4 skills in language. 4 skills of language. One is reading, the second is listening, the third one is speaking, and the writing. I am teaching you exactly of your book. So in the reading, there are the 3 portions that you can find: engage yourself, study time, and the follow-up activities. Listening, again engage yourself, study time, and follow-up activities. Speaking, engage yourself, time for speaking, and follow-up activities. And the writing skill, again there is engage yourself, time for writing, and follow-up activities. And the other portion in your English book that you can see, grammar. In grammar also, engage yourself, time for grammar, and follow-up activities. And in your English book that you can find project work and fun. So this is your every chapter in English book you can find, and according to that you will learn your English book. So now, thank you for it. Now we'll go to the course. So today that I'm going to teach you this grammar. Grammar, in grammar also that I'm teaching this one, transformation of sentence. Transformation of sentence. In the transformation of sentence that I like to show you, transformation means, simple meaning if you go, that is the meaning change. Okay, that is the meaning change over there. So in the transformation that is change, I'm going to teach you over this one. So whenever we study about the transformation is this one, then you must be careful. This transformation of a sentence based on that whether the sentence has auxiliary verb or not. You can see also in the slide, okay, that you can see over this one. Here in the slide, I am showing you transformation of a sentence on the basis of auxiliary verb. Some of the sentence have the auxiliary verb, some of the sentence do not have auxiliary verb, okay. There you can see in your what, that slide also, some of the sentence have the what, auxiliary verb. For example, they have gone home. When there is they have gone home, that you can see, they have gone home. So here it is in a sentence have. This have is the auxiliary verb. Okay, and in another sentence you can see, can she write a letter? That is in a question form. There is also an auxiliary verb, that is can. So what I want to mean over that, some of the sentence have the auxiliary verb, some of the sentence do not have auxiliary verb. That is called the word transformation of a sentence, we can say. So that is why in transformation of sentence there must be the presence of auxiliary verb. Suppose there is another sentence I would like to tell you about this. My father, that is over the word writes a letter. My father's father writes a letter. So here it is the verb writes. Okay, this is the verb. But here we cannot find the auxiliary verb. So what I want to mean over that, some of the verse, some of the sentence they have the word auxiliary verb, but some of the sentences do not have auxiliary verb. That is why that is known as the transformation of a sentence. Now we must understand there must be the presence of auxiliary verb in a sentence. So the most important thing that now you have to understand what are the auxiliary verb. This is most important for you to know. So auxiliary verbs, I have written down also, you can see in the word slide. They are the 4 types of auxiliary verbs. There are 4 types of auxiliary verbs. Okay. Number 1 is be verb. The second is do verb. And the third one is have verb. And fourth one is modal verbs. So these are the 4 types of the auxiliary verbs. You can see here. Be verb means am is are was were. You can see there. Do verb do does did. Have verb has have had. And modal verbs will would shall should can could may might must need dear ought to used to. These auxiliary verbs there must be. These auxiliary verbs there must be in a sentence. So what I'm telling you, the transformation of sentence, that means there must be the presence of auxiliary verb. And now we are going to, I told you the transformation, now I'm going to talk about the what? Sentence. Okay. So in a sentence, what do you understand? I go to the slide. So there is the first slide I'm teaching you over this one. I'm talking about the word sentence to you. The first one is assertive, as you know, assertive or declarative. You can see in the slide also, declarative or statement. What it means? It means that it declares. You can see in the definition also, we can assert or declare or state or say something. Say something in how many ways would you say? In 2 ways. Okay, you can see in a what slide. One is affirmative, or we can say the positive. For example, she is a doctor. Okay. Number 2, that is the what? Negative. It means no. Affirmative means it is yes, or the positive means it is yes. Negative means no. For example, she is not a doctor. Okay. For example, again I would like to give you over this one. Somebody asks a question to you, do you go to cinema? You can declare a certain statement in 2 ways. Either you go, yes I go, or no I don't go. So that is why this assertive declarative statement in 2 ways we can say. We are going to learn about the transformation of a sentence, that is. So let's see another slide. Transforming positive into negative. So what is over there? I already said in transformation there must be the presence of auxiliary verb. Many times I am over that auxiliary verb because this is most important for you about the transformation of a sentence. So there must be the presence of auxiliary verb. Number 1, see here. We are changing from positive into negative or affirmative into negative. So what is the number 1? We ate not after the auxiliary verb. Number 1. We ate not after auxiliary verb. I told you there must be auxiliary verb. Okay. So we have to put not after the auxiliary verb. You can see the example there in the slide. Ram is playing a game. That is the positive. Into negative we write over there. Ram is not playing a game. Okay. After this what is? Is the be verb. Be verb is the what? That is auxiliary verb. So after that we are putting not to change it to negative. Second, she will have read a book. She will have read a book. Now I will show you. See, this sentence I have to show you. She will have a book. Okay, she will have read a book. Here in a sentence also we have to see auxiliary verb. Okay, what is the auxiliary verb? As you already know, will. Will is also the auxiliary verb. Have is also the auxiliary verb. There are 2 auxiliary verbs in a sentence. And read is the B3 form, you already know. Okay, this is the what? Read a book. So she will have read a book. There are 2 auxiliary verbs, but we have to put not after the first auxiliary verb. When there are more than 1 auxiliary verb in a sentence, then we should put what? Not after the first auxiliary verb. That is what there is. Example you can see, she will not have read a book. After this will, we are using this what? Not. That is number 1. What I said, to change into negative, there must be the what? Auxiliary verb, and then we have to put not or add this not after the auxiliary verb. That is called the what? That is called the negative sentence. Second number rule. Sentence number 1 I said about that, I already said you transformation means some of the sentences have the auxiliary verb, some of the sentences do not have the auxiliary verb, but there must be the presence of the what? Auxiliary verb when we go transformation of a sentence. Look at the number 2 rule. Sentence without auxiliary verb, we take the help of do verb. Do verb, keep in mind. We have to take the help of do verb when in number 2 rule. when there is not auxiliary verb. Again, I'm showing in the slide to you. When there is not auxiliary verb or sentence without auxiliary verb, we take the help of do verb. What are the do verb? Do verb is do, does, did. And look at them down in the slide that I've given in a note to you, that if there is B1, then we have to take what? Do verb. We have to take the help of do verb. What is the example of this what? B1? For example, over the what? Eat, play. This is the way. That is the B1. The second example I have given over the what? B2. B2 means the past form of the verb. We have to take the help of did. Example, what is the example over this past form? Ate, and here played. We have to put ed. Okay, another this over there we are going to B5, or we can say present singular form of the verb. That is over this what? Example. Then we have to put dots. Help of the dots. Then example, what is over there? Eat becomes eats, play becomes plays. We have to put yes. Keep in mind over this one. So what are you doing? B1, B2, B5. If there is not auxiliary verb in a sentence. Okay. So look at the example. Number 1. I catch a big fish. That is in a positive. The verb is a catch. So catch, when the verb is a catch, look at over here. CAT, catch. This is the B1 form of the verb. So when it is the B1 form of the verb, then we take the help of the do. You can see here. So that is why I do. Then we have to put not. Then you must understand this do verb, when you take the help of do, does, did, then there must be the B1 form. There must be the B1 form. B1 is already there is given catch. So I do not catch a big fish. Saying example number 2, she ate an apple. Again, ate is the B2 form. You already know it, ate, B2 form. Then we have to take the help of what? Did. So that we are taking the help of did. She did not. Then what is the B1 of ate? Eat. Okay. So look it over there. B1 of ate is eat. She did not eat in what? Apple. The third one example, he goes home. Goes. See over here, goes. There is should be the what? Yes or yes to become B5. That you already know. I think that you must have learned from what junior classes. So when there is the B5, then we have to take the help of does. Look at the example. He does not go home. He does not go home. So what I want to mean over that, there are two, I am teaching of this, number 1 and number 2 rule. B1, number 1 rule, if there is the auxiliary verb. Number 2, if there is not the what? Presence of auxiliary verb. Now let's move to the what? Another slide. Some of the what sentences, what I mean, so that when we change into negative, that we don't have to use this not, because by changing the words, by changing the number 3 rules, we can see by changing the notes, words that we can change into negative. For example, if the word is always, that will directly change into never. For example, she always goes home. Then always becomes never. She never goes home. Finished. We don't have to change into the verb into what? Negative. Suppose another example, either or neither nor. Somebody says either or, neither nor also. Suppose now either she or he eats, that should be changed into neither or nor, or neither or nor. She eats. Just directly changing the word. And I am telling you the some in the beginning. See that some in the beginning. I will show you again here this one. Some in the beginning. Okay. So when it is some in the beginning means see over that someone is good. If there is over there someone is good, then some in the beginning directly you change into no. You don't have to do anything. No one is good. So what is the negative of this? No one is good. Finished. When some is in the beginning, we can change this no. Another example, every. If there is every also, we can change into what? No. Suppose example, what I want to mean, I know everything. If there is I know everything, so this everything should be changed into nothing. I know nothing. Okay, this directly you can change the word. Every change into no. So this is the what? Another example I'm giving you. Other, some of, any of, must of, all of. If there is, then change into none of. For example, some of them are good. Then we have to change into none of them are good. Okay, that is the what example I'm giving you. Other, sometimes, usually, and often in a sentence, then you have to change into seldom. For example, over the I seldom, what I mean over that, I usually play cards. If there is I usually play cards, then you have to change into negative. I seldom play cards. The words sometimes, usually, often, that will be changed into what? Seldom. Okay. Now next one, frequently, if there is frequently, then we should change into the rarely or barely. Okay, for example, look at over this. She frequently visits him. She frequently visits him. That frequently is changed into the what? We have to say hardly or rarely. So what I have to say? She hardly visits him, or she rarely what visits him. So these are the what rules that you should not forget. Number 3 rule. Okay, these are the words that we can change. Now number 4. What is this number 4 over that? Use don't or do not. Keep in mind over that. When you use over the not not, I am giving this another. If you use not not, then this is the word do not. If you join this not with this do, then it will be like this way, don't. So this do not and don't can be used in the what? Imperative sentence. I am telling over this one in imperative sentence. Try to understand. Okay, this is the imperative sentence. We are reading over the sentence. That is, you must understand imperative means. What do you understand? Start from Bob. Start from Bob. Okay, Bob and end with full stop. That is called over this what? Imperative sentence. Simple meaning. Imperative over this end with full stop. Okay, full stop. That is called over the what? Imperative sentence. So for example, over that, I am giving you this go out. When there is go out, go is the Bob. Okay, starting from Bob, end with full stop. So when you change into negative, we have to use don't or do not, whatever. We can use both, do not or don't. Okay, that is number 4 rule when we change into negative. The 5th rule we go, change the word, that is the must. Must is the word modal verb. Keep in mind. This is the modal verb auxiliary verb. Modal auxiliary verb also we can say. Modal auxiliary verb. Okay, so when there is must, then when we change into negative, we have to change this must into need not. Need not. Keep in mind over that. So example, what is given over there? What? She must reach there. She must reach there. There is must. That is what we have to use. She need not reach there. Okay, that is the number 3, number 4, and number 5 rules. Now let's go to others. I am giving you some of the what sentences which they are negative. That is just what we think. What we think that there this negative will be in another way. But now say look it over this one, transforming positive into negative. What is the number 1? I am showing you this one. It's very important for you. What am I teaching you over this one? This is the word transformation of a sentence that you must not forget. Okay, number 1 is, look it over here. If the sentence starts from let's, if the sentence starts from let's, then we have to change it to negative, let's not. Try to understand, let's not. You can see in the example 2. Another sentence over there, number 2, let him, or object this is. And if there is, then in this word starting from let, then after this object or the subject we can say in a sentence. Okay, later you will know about that. Let him not. Let him not. This is the number 2 rule. This you have to know. Number 3, what do you understand? Apostrophe you'd better. It means this is the word had better. If there is apostrophe D, look at it, I will show you. Apostrophe D means there are 2 forms. One is had and there is would. Okay, and if there is had, when if there is, then there is the B3 or better. Then this is the word had. If there is apostrophe D means that is would. Would, then what is I understand? Would plus B1 or rather. Then that is the would. So when there is, look at the example, you would better go home. That is better means had. So if there is had better, then after that one you have to put not. You'd better not. You can see in the slide also. Same way, she would rather take a taxi. She would rather take a taxi. Again, apostrophe D means C over the apostrophe D, would rather. That is the would, not had. Okay, she would rather what is take a taxi. Then we have to change it to negative. That is the what? Rather. If there is rather, apostrophe D, rather, then after this one you have to put not to change into negative. She would rather not take a taxi. 5th one rule over there, see, I'm fine too. If there is I am fine too, that is the number or rule over this 5th I'm telling you. Number 4 I already said. That is TO2. Then when you change the sentence, then to change into either. Okay, don't forget about it. So like example number 5, I'm not fine either, because these are very important for you, those students who are going to appear in SLC also, or C exam, or also those students who are studying. And this is very important for all, everyone students who are reading from class 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is very important to you. So I'm fine too, I'm not fine either. Number 6 here, he has already done it. that already there is over there. That is, you have to change this already into it. That it, it comes at last. Keep in mind over that. So he has already done it. Then you have to, your answer is he hasn't done it. What? It. Number 7. I bought some vegetables. I bought some vegetables. What do you want to mean over that? I bought is the B2 form. That is how we are changing into did. I didn't buy. Some becomes any vegetables. So look it over there. You don't have to get confused into this matter. I'm changing this some into any this time. That time I told you this some you have to change into no. Directly you have to change no. But that time I give the what slide to you. You can also think about it. Remember, where some in the beginning I said to you. Some in the beginning of a sentence. Okay, some in the beginning of a sentence, then we have to change into no. Otherwise, that some change into the what sentence into negative, Bob into negative. Now go to what? Any. Like that. Number 1, I bought some vegetables becomes I didn't buy any vegetables. Number 8, she wrote a letter and so did a sister. See, and so this. So that is that negative it happens. She didn't write a letter and neither. And so becomes and neither. Okay, other same. And neither did a sister. This type of what question may be asked in the exam. So that you have to understand. Or you can screenshot in a mobile or this, take a photo. Okay, if you cannot write. Number 10. Number 9. Suppose that he has read several books. I haven't read any books. Several change into what? Any. That is same. Like some. Some change into negative or this while changing into negative any. Same way, several also. Some or several. I would like to write over the word several. That change into what? Any. Now, third one, 10th number one, example. I bought a lot of pencils. Okay. This is we have to know. Number 10. A lot of. Whenever we change into the what negative, that a lot of change into many or much. Keep in mind. That a lot of change into many or much when you change into negative. So many when, many with countable nouns. Many with countable nouns if there is, much with what? Uncountable noun. Uncountable and countable noun means what? That is the countable which can be counted, uncountable which cannot be counted. Look at the example. I bought a lot of what? Pencils. Pencils, if there is example, look at over there, a lot of pencils. A lot of pencils. I told you this, a lot of change into the many or much. But what is the noun here? That is the what? Countable noun. Pencil we can count. That is we have to use many when it changes into negative. Look at the example. I did not buy many pencils. Keep in mind over there. And on the, inside the bracket that I have written much plus uncountable noun. For example, I eat a lot of rice. I eat a lot of rice. If there is, then eat is over here. Then we have to use I don't eat. Now rice is uncountable noun. So that is a lot of should be changed into much. Don't forget about this one. That is I'm showing very what emphasis to this one about a lot of. A lot of with many, a lot of can be changed into many and much. If there is countable many, if there is uncountable much. Now let's go to the 11th example. This 11th example, which is very, very important for you. Okay, sometimes we may get confused. So this is why we have to know. What is over there? As soon as she reached home, it started raining heavily. This I have given the example also there in the slide. You can see in slide also you can find, but here I am teaching over there. As soon as the sentence join with as soon as. The sentence join with as soon as. You must keep in mind how to change into negative. So how to do? No sooner. No sooner. We have to change into the what? No sooner. You can see there in the what slide also. What is the verb here is? Reached. Reached is the B2 form. Then in the B2, what auxiliary verb do you take? Did. So start from the auxiliary verb. No sooner did, then go on. See, what is over there? Did always takes B1, you already know reach. Then reach home, comma. Then again, it started all raining happily. It started raining happily. No sooner. Or else, we can use also the same sentence, this one changing into the no sooner. Another also we can use no sooner had. Had see other same. Reached home, comma, then other same, that is it started raining heavily. So this is the what as soon as. Okay. So this may make you what confused. We have to be very so but this very what do you understand with the concepts about this while changing into negative. Okay, now we go to the next slide. Exercise. I am giving the exercise to you. You can copy there. You can copy, if you cannot copy, then take a photo from your mobile so that you can study number 1 to 12 that I have given the exercise to you. Okay, now I go to this one slide to you. What do you do over this one? Now we learn over this how to change from positive into negative. Okay, I already said about that. There are two this rule number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and also that one. Now if we know from this what all the exercises or all the what teachings, we come to understand how to change from positive into negative. Okay, now we are going to this what negative into positive. Negative into positive. Now see here, transformation of sentence we are reading negative into what positive. As you already know, that time what did you see the rule over there? We use not after auxiliary verb. After auxiliary verb. Now how to what to do this to change from negative but this positive? This remove not, simple rule. You have to remove this not. Example, what I mean over this, I am not a student or doctor. I am not a doctor. So this not you have to remove. Okay, when you remove, then what happen? I am a doctor. Finish. This is the positive. Number 1 rule. Number 2, what I said about that. If there is not actually verb, take the help of do does did. Do does did. You have to take the help of this word do does did and put not. There is rule plus B1. And so what I said about that, if there is do plus B1, so when you take over this one, do plus B1 over there. So when there is do, then B1. If there is does, then B5. If there is did, then B2. Now do it. Example over that. She did not go home. If there is she did not go home, when you change into negative, there is did. You already know that. You have to remove it. Okay, not you have to remove. So that is what is the answer. She did means we have to change into the B2 form. Okay, so what is the B2 of go? Went. She went home. Understand about that? She went home. Okay, so what I want to mean over that, just remove this one and put not. Same way in number 3 rule also we can do, number 4 rule also we can do. Okay, number 5 rule also that we can do, as I already given you. For example, nothing. Nothing is impossible. If there is nothing is impossible, then no, you have to, you already know, beginning in the no, then you have to change it to something. Something is what? Impossible. Okay, that we have to know. So what I want to mean, if we go to the word semantic or the meaning, that later on we do in detail, but here now we are changing into negative only, okay, or positive only. That is why I am teaching this. If there is no, then you have to change into some or this something. Okay, something is what? Impossible. So what I would like to tell about that, this is very important for you to know that to change from positive into negative or negative into positive. I hope that you cannot there is no difficulty for you to understand. Okay, so what I want to mean over that one, this is the most important from, I already said this from class 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so that is why this you have to note it, you have to note in a copy, or else that you have to take a photo, or you have to take the help of this mobile. You all are staying in home, that is why it will be very fruitful for you in the future also. This is very important for the C examination. Those students who are waiting in the room and waiting for the exam, this is important, and I hope that class 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 and other students on 11 and 12 also get benefited by this from positive into negative, affirmative into negative, or negative into positive. Okay, this is my end of my class. I hope that you understood. Thank you very much, and stay home and be safe. And everybody, good afternoon.